Welcome to the I Know a Guy podcast. This week, I welcome Shelby McDaniel. Shelby's a teacher in Florida who is monetizing her social media through TikTok and Instagram. She talks about how she's become an influencer, how she's growing it, and the do's and don'ts. So I hope you enjoy this podcast, and I hope you get something from it and grow your social media presence. All right, welcome to I Know a Guy podcast. I'm Ben Bakari, and first guest, first show, first episode ever, Shelby is in the house.
Yes, hello.
Thank you for agreeing. I didn't pay you too much to be here.
No.
Not at all. So here's the thing that I'm fascinated about, and that is what you've been able to do. You had told me, we've known each other for a while, making money through social media.
Yes.
How does a teacher make money through social media?
Well, it kind of just started. I'll just tell you the whole.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
So I started TikTok in 2020. Obviously, like during the pandemic, I had nothing to do. Like I was about to graduate. I was just stuck at home with my family. So I started making TikToks, and then I started teaching a few months later, and I kind of just noticed that people really liked the content about teaching because not everybody can make that kind of content. Like it's very unique. So it started out me just making videos, like funny videos about things that would happen at work or like just jokes based off of sounds. And then I kind of got into some other stuff. I had my email like in my bio, I guess, on TikTok. And I had a brand reached out to me last January. So January of 2022 was the first time. It was a classroom decor company reached out to me, and they're like, hey, we would love to send you some stuff if you make a video and put it on your TikTok. And I was like, that sounds so great. Obviously, like I'm a teacher. I don't make a ton of money from that, but I love to have nice stuff in my classroom. So I was like, sure, that sounds great. So I was just going to like let them send it to me, and I was just going to do whatever they wanted because I was getting free stuff. But then I was talking to my cousin who also does social media up in New York, and she was like, no, like you're going to charge them for that. And I was like, what? And she was like, no, like tell them that they have to pay you. Because I think at that point I probably had like 15,000 followers, 12 maybe. So I ended up emailing them back, and we came to an agreement, and they paid me for a video, which I just thought was crazy that somebody would want to give me money for I think me making something.
I think what they're doing is they've always had marketing budgets, but instead of putting it on commercials or things, they're like, hey, we'll get real folks who have influence and connection.
Definitely.
So here's my question about your followers.
Yes.
You have a lot of teachers that follow you?
Yes.
Is it because y'all, I guess, relate? Y'all kind of share the same?
Trauma bonding, I guess. If you wanted to call it that. That's what I think it is.
No, that's cool. They message you, give you thoughts. Hey, do this.
Yes.
Lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff. I get lots of questions about like, what do you do if a kid does this? Or like, what do you do if your school's doing that? And I'll kind of just give my 2 cents on it, vaguely, as vaguely as I can, because I don't want to give too much information. But it's just a really, more than anything, like money aside, I absolutely love like just the people I've met on there. Like I'm actually meeting up with 5 or 6 girls this summer that I've met on there that also do social media, and it's just I've made so many friends. I've gotten some amazing resources for my kids that I would not have been able to get otherwise, just stuff I wouldn't be able to afford.
So how do you know these are real people and it's safe?
The people I'm meeting up with?
Yes.
Well, that's my mom asks me that all the time. She's like, no, you're not going to go meet up with them. I'm like, yes, I am. Like, I am going to go meet up with them.
What's it called if you meet up with like
catfishing?
Yeah, but is it still called catfishing?
I think so. That's what my mom was calling it. But like my one really, really good friend that I've met, like we FaceTime, like we talk almost every day. So I'm pretty sure she's a real person. And then the other people, I don't know who would like fake.
Can I say, so we've talked, so Amazon?
Yes. So I can't give super, super big details on that just because I have like a contract with them. But
you say a contract, you didn't just get a contract out the gate.
No. So what happened was after that video that I made that I was telling you about with the one company, I kind of just started emailing more brands. More brands were reaching out to me. Like that video did super well, which helped. So that was around February of 2022 when I posted that. And then in May of 2022, I applied for Amazon storefront. I had no idea what it was. I was just like, oh, this looks fun. People say you can make money on there. So I applied for that and I got accepted. So in May of 2022, I started making videos about like stuff I would get on Amazon for my classroom, or like, here's some really good deals, or like, I bought this and I love it. And I had the link in my bio. And if you click the link in my bio as an Amazon associate, I get a commission. So I started doing that and it took off. I can't give like a ton of details on that, but it took off. And I had a really, really good summer with that. And then I got, I'm in like one of the Amazon programs now. So there's like weird confidentiality stuff tied into that. But basically, I have like a quota I try to meet every month with that to try to sell enough stuff through my links. And
so here's the thing. If I were starting fresh, I'm like, you know what, that sounds cool. I want to get either money or free stuff from different groups and organizations. Right. You have to create content.
Yes, you have
How
to.
tough is that?
It's pretty tough. I mean, I probably spend like 2 or 3 hours a day after work, like doing stuff for my social media. I could probably narrow it down to like an hour, but I'm like a consumer of social media too. So I get distracted very easily. I'm like, oh, that looks fun. Let me look at that. But it's a lot of work, especially like to know it is another thing where I can post my outfits. And if people click on the link of my outfit, I get a commission, stuff like that. So it just takes time, picking out the outfit, linking all the stuff, linking it on the video, editing the pictures. I mean, it adds up.
Okay, so the products you're getting from folks are real products that you would use.
Yes.
They're not just something that's like, hey, I'm going to get a little money here, so I'm going to, but it's like, I know this is really cute.
Definitely.
This is really cool.
Definitely. I don't think I've done any collabs with anybody where it's something that I didn't actually want.
Or believe in or something.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very, I'm really into like health and wellness stuff too. So like I'll have people reach out to me about like, oh, I want you to advertise this like slim fast shake, and I'm like, no, like I didn't drink a shake to get slim. Like that would be weird. But you can
just tell everybody.
Yeah, and that's what they want you to do, and they're gonna pay you to do it. But I'm not gonna. I want to have like a genuine community. I'm not trying to just make money.
So I've known you, but one thing that stuck out with your social media was something happened to you, and one day, and I don't know if producer Jake can pull it up, but you're a dog.
My parents' dog. This is such a wild story. So I'm like walking down the bus ramp. My mom is also a teacher at my school. And I'm walking down the bus ramp. I put my kids on the bus, having a good Wednesday afternoon. And my mom calls me, which is strange because she's also putting her kids on the bus. I'm like, why is she on her phone? And I answer the phone. And she's like, the neighbor shot the dog. I'm like, what? She's like, the neighbor shot the dog. And so, just trauma. So we had to take the dog. My brother ended up putting the dog in the truck, took the dog to the vet. He's fine, by the way. But I made a video about it, and people were all like, excuse me? Like, your neighbor did what to your dog?
And it kind of went viral. They loved it. Like, really?
People love just to hear about real life, They want to know what's going on. I love like the everyday videos that you see a lot of people doing, but there's just something unique when you're like willing to share.
Sure.
You're crazy a little bit.
What would be your advice to somebody who's going to become or wants to do influencing and stuff, like because people, they don't know where to start.
Yeah, it's
like,
hard.
It is hard.
Especially now, it's very oversaturated. Like I almost do feel like I got into it a little later. Like if I would have started my first year teaching, it would have, I don't know, it would have been way bigger than it is now, in my opinion. Because the girls that I'm friends with that started, right in 2020, like they have hundreds of thousands of followers because it just took off so quick. But my biggest advice is to be genuine. Like you don't want to be the way everybody else is because there's millions of people already doing that,
I think you got a video here?
Yeah, this is some context on the dog. This is the neighbor dog story, right?
Yeah, I think, there was one about the dog, and then this one I kind of talked about. It was like a whole 3 days where I was selling the house, and then something else happened, and then the dog got shot. Oh, my boyfriend got in a car accident, and then the dog got shot, all in 3 days.
That's not good. That's not good.
It was a lot.
Okay, here is the full story time about how the last 3 days of my life have played out. Actually, let's do the last 4. So I was selling my house, and I was supposed to close on Monday. I got back from New York Sunday at 8:30 p.m., and while I was on the plane, I got a text from my realtor that the people buying my house wanted all this stuff done that I just didn't really think I had to do. Like, it was probably all stuff you're supposed to do. I just didn't know because I've never sold my house before. So I had already taken Monday off to rest because I've had like a really long couple of weeks, but I ended up spending all of Monday like moving all these giant things out of my backyard, cutting up branches, patching holes, painting the wall, whatever. So Monday was just a loss. I was so tired when I got back to work Tuesday, but I had had a great day. Work was great. And then I came home. We got the carpet installed in our house. And like around 6 o'clock, I get a text from my boyfriend. He's like, "Hey, it was an accident. I need you to come, by the Circle K." That's where it was. So I get there, and we ended up being there for 4 hours. And what happened was a man crossed across the median, and he didn't really look. And I guess a woman going the other direction as my boyfriend hit him, and a tire flew out of the bed of his truck, a tire with the wheel in it. And that is what went through my boyfriend's windshield.
Wow.
Like,
was
can
crazy.
we, why?
Whoa.
No.
Like it
So
barely
got
missed
home
him.
around like 10:30 Tuesday night. It was a long day. Go to work Wednesday. I finished car duty. I got a call from my mom, which is weird because she's also a teacher and usually around 3 o'clock, like, we're trying to finish this up, stuff up. She tutors. So I was like, okay, she's busy. Why is she calling? Well, Tuesday, the neighbor was mad at my parents' dog, not my Lily. My parents' dog got out in their yard, so the woman was chasing him with a 2x4, to get him out of the yard. Well, Wednesday, I guess he got in the yard again, and the man felt threatened by my very sweet family dog, so he shot at him 5 times. He only hit him
God.
twice. Graphic scene coming. Skip over it if you don't like that. 2 exit wounds in and out.
Poor
Wow.
He survived.
He really-
I mean,
It is
go
sur-
him.
Oh,
He was still
So
walking
I have young
around like
siblings. I'm the oldest of 5. My youngest sibling is 6, and there's a 10-year-old and 13-year-old and a 20-year-old, and then me. So my mom had to go home with the kids, and my dad, he was working late. He's athletic director, like all this stuff. So I ended up waiting in town for the dog. I got home like 9:30, 10 o'clock yesterday with the dog. The dog is doing great. I'm exhausted. Everybody's fine. My boyfriend is fine. We are just so thankful everybody's fine. But it has been a long few days. So now I am just like still unpacking my life because we just moved. I just sold my house, and it's been a long few weeks for me. So I'm very excited for Christmas break so I can finally just
So when it rains,
happy.
it pours.
it really it just tsunamied right on me for weeks. It
So-
felt like.
So your boyfriend's okay.
He's fine. He got a truck. They deemed the car totaled, so he, that helped. Got a truck.
And the dog's fine.
The dog is fine.
And the neighbor didn't apologize.
No, my dad put up a huge fence to keep. It's just really. My dad put up like a 6-foot fence between their yards so that the guy can't see the dog anymore.
Who shoots a dog?
I know.
Especially if it's not an aggressive dog, right?
Exactly.
I can
I'm just
understand
like,
if someone's got a pit bull and they're
literally
charging
never
little kids or
seen him Be
something.
aggressive in my whole life.
Wow.
And I don't know much about shooting things, but the gunshots were like literally 2 inches apart. So it's not like the dog was like running at him. Like he obviously was aiming.
Wow.
And he was probably just standing there. I can just picture him, my poor friend.
Well, I'm glad that's gone now. That day's over.
It was
Mm.
crazy. It was a lot.
So what advice would you give somebody like so we've talked about starting their own
Yes.
thing, but like what is some advice for something that maybe you've encountered that you didn't really know you were going to encounter, or like you talk about, oh, well, I can't say this because I'm bound by this contract.
Yeah.
Like what do they do, like non-competes? Like you can't compete, you can't,
Yeah, I haven't had any of those. I have friends that have had that. Like I have one contract with one company that's month to month. So I make videos for them every month. And that's a little bit different. There's like rules about how long you have to keep the video up and like how many times you're going to post at a time in a month, I mean. But I haven't really had any issues with like non-competes or anything like that yet. The biggest thing that I've been surprised about is like I definitely think sometimes the brands will try to like take advantage of you a little bit, so you have to be careful. I've had some like try to like sneak in the contract that they were going to have like full ownership over my video so like they could repost it. So like if I'm selling content to someone, that's content that's going on my page for them. You know what I mean?
I do.
That's I am still promoting it. It's on my page. It would be considered like UGC, user generated content,
Okay.
if they are posting it and I am selling them the video. I would charge
A lot more.
markedly more because that's like me doing a free commercial for you.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And that
Absolutely.
doesn't benefit me at all because it's not
And
not
you-
tagging me.
You're sort of giving them all the rights to it
right.
if you do that.
Yes.
Interesting.
And
wow.
I'm busy. Like I have a full-time job and I do this on the side. I don't have time to just like make videos that aren't going to benefit me or my followers at this point.
Did you have like an attorney have to look over stuff, or you just do
I
a
just
lot of
look
research
over it.
yourself?
Yeah, my cousin helps me a lot because she's very knowledgeable.
Well, I know the brands have a lot of money, and they'll try to not spend it if they don't have to. Yeah.
So it's really hard to come up with like rates and stuff like that. At first, obviously, like $50, I was like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, $50. But now my time is very valuable.
Absolutely.
I have a lot I want to do. So.
You're a teacher,
right? I'm like,
which is a frontline employee or something in our country now, which is great. Well, I know you guys work hard in the classroom. Yeah. It's not easy.
Definitely.
I did a little teaching at one time, like on the side, and I'm like, nope, I won't go back in the classroom.
Not doing that.
Oh, y'all deal with so much stuff in the classroom.
It's a lot.
And I saw a TikTok video where I thought it was a mosquito bite, but I think you actually got bit by a kid.
No, I got bit by a mosquito.
Okay.
But I had to make a video clarifying because I didn't even think that people would think I got bit by a kid, but I
didn't at first, and I saw some comments.
Yes, hundreds of people were like, "Oh my gosh,
you should get that looked at."
I would be doing this or that, and I was like, "What?" Like over a mosquito, and then I realized they were talking about being bit by a kid, so I had to make another video clarifying I got bit by a mosquito.
Which is possible.
I haven't been bit by a kid though.
You have?
So yeah.
Okay.
It's been a few years, but I have.
That's not fun.
No.
And then there's like protocol. Don't you have to like call somebody and try
I
and
do. Yeah.
Oh, that's not
There's
good.
a whole 9 yards. You got to like fill out a paper.
So this is all about your influence and stuff you've done with social media, but you've done it as a teacher.
Yes.
How's that accepted in the classroom? You do a lot of classroom stuff, but you don't
Rick,
show the kids or anything.
I do not show the kids at all, ever. I've never shown the kids.
But I have seen some influencers that do.
Yes.
And it's like that's kind of like a gray area.
You'd have to get at my school, I'm pretty sure I would have to get them to sign over a release.
Mm-hmm.
I would never even ask.
Like some kind of release waiver type thing?
Yeah, I would never. I don't think that's like a boundary I want to cross. I feel like that could get messy. I don't know though. I've never really had any issues. I feel like overall my social media is pretty positive.
Sure.
I don't talk poorly about my school. I don't talk poorly about my students. I would never do that. So I feel like there's not really anything anybody can say.
No, it's sort of your space to share, and I think people like the insight, especially your followers, when it comes to the other teachers or the people. And the content's entertaining and funny, and I was like, wow, okay, cool, and
you have to be careful. I know there are like some schools that their contract says that they can't talk about their job on social media. So
really,
yeah, definitely. So
private school?
No.
Public school?
Yes, I've met teachers through social media who said that they would not be allowed to post about stuff like that, like just the videos that I make.
I'm actually
even like satire stuff.
That's not considering the salary they're probably making.
Not worth it.
They're lucky to even keep them.
I know.
Wow.
So my school's very supportive. My principal's very supportive. My team loves it. Like it's just
it's cool.
The kids love it. I mean, the kids have all found it.
Oh my God, I want to see it. Look what she's putting out there.
I actually presented at Career Day like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, that is so. But that's where we're headed, right?
Yes.
That's that mindset of like tech and stuff. It's kind of like foreign to some people.
Definitely.
I'm not saying older people.
Yeah. Because
I'm getting older. But so you're like, oh, what is that? But that really is where we're headed.
Definitely.
Like kids used to, like 10, 15 years ago, get in trouble for carrying a phone and texting.
Right.
Now it's like, yeah, you can just text all the time.
Literally. Yes. Yeah. It's hard. It's.
Oh, Miss Shelby, I'm so sorry.
No,
I know you're teaching the class. I've got a phone call.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, now go ahead and teach what you're teaching me. It's like, what?
Literally. I feel like that probably happens in high school.
Do elementary kids have phones?
I see some. I have some kids that have them, but they're not allowed to take them out. I take them if they take them
out. See, they're at that age, I think, where you can still sort of get them like, oh, okay.
Yes. But they all like go on their parents' phones at home and stuff, which I mean, teach their own, but.
Yeah, you can't.
I can't control what they do.
So crazy story. So I did substitute teaching, right?
Yes.
At the school. It's a high school. And I followed the instructions that the teacher had laid out, and it said, no cell phones. And I respected that. I said, look, no cell phones out. That's really important. And so this young man kind of does it. And I'm like, look, I've already said it one time, and I think you're being disrespectful. I'm being cool with you. Please don't pull your cell phone out anymore. The teacher does not allow it, and I'm trying to respect their wishes.
Right.
He didn't care. So toward the end of class, pulls it, and he had it out the whole time. Toward the end of class, I kind of approached him like, what's up, man? Like, why are you? He's like, I don't, it's whatever. I'm like, okay. So he leaves. So at lunchtime, I find him. I was like, I didn't do anything to you.
Right.
You're showing me up in front of people, which that's not cool. And he said, yeah, I'm just having a bad day. Oh, okay. he's having a bad day.
Yeah.
Well, then I find out the next day he got arrested because he shot somebody the day before.
Whoa.
Dude's in prison now. I'm not even joking. Real story.
Holy moly.
Real story. I'm like, oh, yeah, you can have your phone out now.
Yeah, sure. That's okay.
I'll leave you alone.
Yeah, that's fine.
I was
Wow.
like, well, so he was having a bad day.
That
Yeah, it was like a drug
is
deal gone bad or something.
horrifying. Oh
Well,
my goodness.
now you know I'm not in the school system anymore. I'm like, yeah, I'll stay away from
Hey,
that.
it's tricky. It's rough out there. I
It's-
love it though. I love my kids so
well,
much.
it makes a difference in their lives. Kids need that right now.
I can feel
so.
it. Like it's almost like an adrenaline rush when I can like feel that I'm helping them.
You are, and they'll remember you.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember. I don't know.
Hope so.
Producer Jake, you remember your teachers at all?
Yeah, a few.
Yeah.
You were a substitute of mine once.
Oh my gosh.
Was that nice?
No, you.
No.
Was I a jerk?
Yeah.
Why was I a jerk?
So we walk into class. I'll
I'm
never
ready.
forget. It was Macrondek's film class, right?
Yeah.
All you had to do was put on a movie because it was literally a film class. And I walk in, and everyone kind of sits down. Class starts, bell rings, and you start going on this long speech about kids cussing at the front of the school. And
Yeah, I don't
we
like
need to
that.
have
I don't
more
like people
respect.
cussing like crazy.
Mm.
yeah,
I don't mind if you do it behind the scenes or with your friends, just
Yeah.
out loud. Everybody can hear it. It's like, what is that?
yeah. I may forget you one day, Ben, but I'll never forget that lesson.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
hard.
And
Don't
that's what
cuss.
and that's what I was
hope
trying
that's
to
how they
do.
feel.
That's what I had a golf coach who got on me because he's like, I let out something right in front of everybody on the golf range, and he's like, son, I cuss like a sailor when I'm not around you. But if you do that again, you won't be on this golf team.
Oh my god.
I wasn't even on the JV golf team.
Oh
they
my
called it B team, and I was
The
a senior in high
B
school.
team.
I just started learning how to play golf.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think I think there's time and place for everything.
Yeah.
And these kids, they
Classrooms
they
not
talk
time and
really
place.
bad. They talk really bad.
Oh,
and
you
it's
don't have
like,
to tell me.
I know. I'm like,
Even in second grade, I'm
whoa.
like, whoa.
Where'd you get that from?
No.
Yeah.
It's
don't.
the music and the social media.
Yeah.
Oh, they're singing NBA Youngboy, and I'm like, baby, you're 8. You're 8. We shouldn't be listening to the same music.
This is why we need young or good influencers
yes.
that are putting out
yes.
positive things
I
in
agree.
society and not
Definitely.
negative things, which
I
that's another
agree.
topic. But I'm glad I had an influence on you, producer Jake.
There you go.
And look where you came in.
You come so far.
Well, hired 6 feet away.
Yeah.
Hired him here for free. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Got a good deal.
all right. So you spend a lot of time doing the marketing or the online
Yes.
stuff. TikTok, Instagram. Do you have a recommendation like for apps? Like, do you do like one video for this one? Is there like a software you use?
Okay, so I make all the videos on TikTok. I just think TikTok is the easiest to maneuver in my
They're
opinion.
stealing your stuff in China, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
care. Just take it. Like, whatever. I'm not that interesting. Like, whatever. I make them all on TikTok. I just think it's really easy to use. I like the filters on there. Like, it's user friendly. And then there's a website called like saveit.com or something. And I put the link of my TikTok video in on there, and it downloads it, and it takes away the watermark so that, you know, like when you download a
Yeah.
TikTok video, it says like at Shelby McDaniel. I get rid of that so I can repost it on Instagram and Pinterest. And then this summer I am going to start a YouTube, but I need some time to sit down and do that. It takes a minute. So I recycle all my content basically. I don't make any videos specifically for Instagram. I make them all on TikTok and then put them on Instagram and Pinterest after.
Great information. So you said a
Yes.
YouTube channel. Are you about to like try and you going a different direction now? You going to segue to other stuff?
I don't think so. I'm going to keep doing all of it. I'm going to do YouTube shorts. So I'll just like recycle the same videos onto there just to try to get another platform. But I'm not really interested in like vlogging my whole day and stuff like that because I don't really have time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I don't plan on, as of now, making this like a full-time thing. So I kind of want it to stay as low maintenance as possible.
But
if that
it
makes
can
sense.
be financially rewarding.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
let's not get into numbers.
Yeah.
And if we're too close and you don't want to say it, that's fine. Higher than $20,000 a year?
Yes.
Lower than 75?
Yes.
Higher than 35?
Well, I just started making money on it last May, and since then I've made less than 35,000. So it's been 6 months. I'm
But-
close.
But it's still really good.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking this is on the side. This isn't even like your full-time job.
Yes. I have made in the last 8 months. I have made more altogether from influencing than I have from teaching in the last 8 months.
Wow. That's insane.
Now I had like 4 or 5 insane months, like insane.
But
Like
that
I
can-
thought it was fake. It was so insane. And then it slows down some, but it's like picking up again. So it just kind of. I feel like the summer is going to be a really good time.
Do you have like so? You're talking to somebody who has only one follower,
Yeah.
and we only have 2
I'll
listeners.
follow you.
Thank you, and only 2 listeners of the podcast. Do you have like weird special messages that come from people that are like fake or spam?
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
And it's like, hey, we want you to do this. And
yeah,
it's
or like they want
mm.
me to weird stuff.
How do you know what's real and what's not?
I will always click on the profile. I mean, I don't accept any messages on TikTok from people I don't follow, so
Okay.
that doesn't really happen on there. I get weird comments, but I just kind of ignore them.
Yep.
Instagram, I'll just like click on their profile, and if it's somebody who doesn't follow me, I immediately am not going to respond because they don't even interact with my page. So I feel like, why are you messaging me? It's kind of weird. And then if it's like a spam bot or something like that, I just don't respond. But usually it's real people because it's like very thought out. Like, hey, I'm at this school and this is happening with administration. Is that normal? What do you think? Like, that's very specific. I feel like you'd have to be a real person to come up with that.
I got you.
If that
I got
makes
you.
sense.
Well, that's really cool stuff.
Yeah. That's
Producer
fun.
Jake, that was awesome. Yeah,
It was awesome.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
delayed.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it was.
Better
Sorry, I
late
had to
than
turn up my,
It's
my
the
sound.
it's the first episode, so
It is. We'll get better.
well, I think it started
it's
out pretty
great.
good, and
Yeah,
that
this is crazy.
so if someone's listening to this, we have actually one other person that will be listening to it later.
Yay.
So can you
Yeah.
can you give us your handles if someone's like, oh, this person's cool,
Yes.
I want to check it out.
For sure. So my Instagram and my TikTok are both at Shelby.McDaniel. It used to be Shelby McDaniel Teaches, but I'm trying to just be like a person and not just
Teach us.
a teaches. And then Pinterest is still Shelby McDaniel Teaches because Shelby McDaniel was taken. So I'm still Shelby
Who
McDaniel.
took that?
I don't know, and I'm so sad.
So Pinterest, like you do the videos on Pinterest too?
hmm And like the outfits and stuff like that. I don't do as much Pinterest. That is very time consuming. That can be very profitable if you get into the Pinterest creator program, but I'm not. And I tried to get into it for a while, but it takes so long to make a pin. Like it just takes me so long.
Okay, this is the last question.
Okay.
Someone wants to start tomorrow. What's the first step? And that, I mean, literally, they're like, I'm on social media, but I don't really have a lot of followers, but I'd like to. And I'd like to, because I get all kinds of people following me that I don't know. And I think
Yeah.
it's just because they're trying to build up their followers.
Yeah.
Or it's some
definitely.
spy in Russia or China that's trying to get something.
If you're trying to start it to where you're gonna monetize it, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Like somebody who wants to make this as a career. I think the first thing, like, you can't just start off on the bat and be like, I'm gonna make money out of this. Like, you have to make people want to listen to you. Like, people have to want to be there.
Mhm,
You know what I
mhm.
mean? It's called influencing because you're not just influencing people to buy stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're trying to make an impression on them. You're trying to make an impact on
Sure.
some level. I'm not gonna buy. I mean, the influencers that I purchase stuff from their links are people that I'm like invested in their life
Mhm.
because I can tell they're genuine, they're real. Like, there's something about them that I want to listen to. So my biggest advice would be to just you need to start out being as real as you can. Pick a niche. I think that helps
Yeah.
because once you're a little bigger, you can kind of go all over the place. Like now, I don't do as much teaching on everything because I have a pretty substantial following.
Sure.
But I would just make sure you're being real and genuine. People
Cool.
can tell. People can tell,
Cool.
in my opinion.
Thank you, Shelby.
Yeah, thank you. It was
Appreciate your
fun.
time. Yeah,
Yes,
thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Producer Jake, appreciate it.
Thank you.
No.
Good first pod.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
You're the best.
Yeah.
We got
So-
more coming though, okay?
Yeah. We know a gal.
And yeah, we know a gal. So it's called I Know a Guy, right?
Yes.
But
And
it's
I'm a
really
gal.
I Know a Gal.
That's amazing. I
It's
know
it's
a
whatever
gal.
somebody, hey, I know a hiker,
know
a
somebody.
climber. I know someone with no money. I know someone with a lot of money.
That's awesome.
I know an influencer.
Yeah, there you go. And
She's famous. We
All the
sign
above.
our basketball for us.
Absolutely. I would love to.
So every person that comes in here, we got to sign this basketball.
That's so cool.
Producer
Mhm.
Jake.
Yeah, I put it out in the car. You want me to go get it?
Oh, we'll get it. After
Okay.
Are we
Yeah, yeah.
already off air already?
Now we are.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.